Well, hello, my friends, and Happy New Year to you. This is Marcie. Solid Gold Scripture Journals is the place we are at, and I want to show you how I study my scriptures. So I'm going to show you what I'm using this year to study. I got some stickers, I've got some washi tape, my tools, my pens, all that. This is my scripture journal. It's the same Come Follow Me journal that I used last year, and I'm just going to continue on here. Next, I have a new approach to studying the Book of Mormon by Lynn and David Rosenval. This I will link in the description in case you're interested in checking it out more fully. I'm using this one because it's a good weight, it's got lots of margins, and it is divided up instead of into chapters and verses. It's more so divided up into stories and sections. And I just want to give that a try for my personal study. But here on YouTube, I'm going to go back and use the regular triple combination, so that way we're all on the same page. And lastly, I have my Come Follow Me Book of Mormon 2024. It's a little bit different this year, so I want to go through that. I got this, let's see so you can see it better. I got this coil here as a present from Staples. So I just took my regular book to Staples, and then they put the coil on. It starts out very similar to years past, table of contents, how to use the book. And then when we come here to the introductory pages of the Book of Mormon, which is what we're doing this week, January 1 to 7, Another Testament of Jesus Christ. This looks a little bit different. So it starts right off with the little introduction, so you can read about that. Then it goes into ideas for learning at home and at church. So it used to kind of be individual and family. Now it's at home and at church, which I love because we're all doing the same thing each week. So we've got 3 different sections of study. And then there's also a section for teaching children. Then, as usual, the beautiful pictures. And then it's an activity page, which I really love. So I'll just quickly go back and let's see. I made myself a little sticky note. I try and put it here at the beginning of each study day so that I remember to pray before I study. It just helps get me in the mood to study, helps get me centered. I'm setting aside and consecrating some time to the Lord for my studies. So that's what I've done before I started the video. And here we are. The Book of Mormon, it's not just like any other book. And there are some introductory pages that help us to understand that. And that's what we're going to study today. We're starting with this little page. Oh, you know I love a little study here. This is the title page of the Book of Mormon. The title page is more than just a title. It lists several purposes of the sacred record. So I'm going to read through it, use my highlighter, and mark the different purposes of the Book of Mormon. So that is part A of my study today. Part B of my study, this is a great time to decide when and where we will study our scriptures as a family and personally this year. Like, write it down, make a plan, talk to the family about it. That's what I intend to do. It says here, this is another great idea. You might keep a list of verses that build your faith in Jesus Christ. And I feel like keeping a scripture journal or a Come Follow Me journal helps me to do that. First thing I'm going to do is set up my scripture journal. I see that the purposes of the Book of Mormon are to show to the remnant house of Israel these things, what great things the Lord hath done for their fathers, that they might know the covenants of the Lord, that they are not cast off forever, and also to convince the Jew and Gentile that Jesus is the Christ, the eternal God, and it's going to manifest himself unto all nations. So that's a little much, but I'm going to write those things in my journal. I made it a little simpler. So this record is to show a history of the people of Nephi and the people of Ether. And it's to show scattered Israel what God did for their fathers, that they can know what the covenants are, and to convince the Jew and Gentile that Jesus is the Christ. I find this interesting. I often think that the Book of Mormon is for me, for my family, for us, for the church. But it's actually, it seems to be more of a tool for missionary work. And the reason why it is such a great tool for missionary work is because of all the truths in it and because of how much it helps our lives. Great. I'll set that aside. Then I will write out my study plan for this year. So here is my study plan for 2024. Personal study. I'm keeping it as I've done because there's no need to change things that seem to be working most of the time. I like to do it daily. So I get up in the morning, I teach seminary, I come home, I do my housework and things like that, and then walk my dog, whatever. I get a little lull in the afternoon. And to combat that lull, I just like to read my scriptures. It's like a little rest and it gives me some energy. I'm going to continue doing that. And then we'll do our family study in the evenings between dinner and bedtime when we're all home. I'm going to continue doing that. Now, I have a habit tracker. I have a list of all the things I want to do every day, and I'm obsessed with checking things off my list. So I will continue to do that. This is something I want to try and switch up, see what my family thinks. But I think we could pray first and then read the scriptures, because usually we read and then say our prayer, but I like the idea of inviting the Spirit. And then I can continue to record my favorite passages in this Come Follow Me journal. So that's going to get me started for 2024. And I hope it gives you a little motivation to get you started in your scripture study for 2024. I'm so grateful to be doing the Book of Mormon. I can testify that as I study and as I do the things that it says to do, as I act on the inspiration that I get as I study, my life is better. I am a happier person. Things are put into perspective for me. And that is one of the reasons why I love this book so much. So I hope you find what you need in your scripture study, and I'll see you next time. Bye.